Alright guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks. And in this episode we're gonna start the Overton build. Alright, so you saw in a previous video I picked this engine up at a train show at a ridiculously cheap price, and I changed the speaker in it. It made a little bit of a difference. We're gonna revisit that later on, and I'm gonna buy a new scale sound system speaker for it, and possibly a new decoder for it. This got an Economy sound decoder in it. It doesn't have a dynamo, doesn't have a bunch of stuff in it. But what happened was this plug failed. The wires literally just started popping off one at a time. Now, trying to figure out what it was, it turns out that this is a 1.25 pitch plug. And I was able to order this off of AliExpress. I got a whole pack of them, double-ended, delivered for $1.25. I hate myself more and more. So, and this fits in here perfectly. The Spectrum version of this has has two plugs for some reason. This is a newer, old version. I'm not really sure. So I'm not sure. So this fits. The wires are not in the right orientation, and this one actually has this shows 6 wires in here and 8 wires across the board. So I got 2 extra wires in there. So I said to myself, what are we gonna do? I want to put a firebox in here. So I have been fiddling with this thing off camera, trying to get this shell off. I finally found a video that shows what I gotta do. I'm gonna give it a shot. There is the possibility that this body is glued together. Everything is glued together. And why I would say that is because there is another video I found where the guy basically shows that his body was mostly glued together. I don't have to take this off. It just makes it a little bit easier to get to everything. So yeah, I think that's what happened with this one. I think this one is glued together. Alright, so one last thing I gotta do, and I gotta pop these off. And yeah, okay, so that's what it is. Looking at this a little more, these pop off, and when you pull on the front of this frame, where this little nub is glued in, it's glued together. So let's figure this out. There we go. That's all it took. Okay. Alright, so that takes that off. Now the motor carriage comes out. Alright. So the big difference I found out between this and a Bachman's and the Spectrum version of this is that the Spectrum version of this has a 5 skew wound motor. Does it matter? Not really. Why? Because this is what I got and this is what I'm working with. Now you have to pull this front screw out to take it apart, but since we'll be doing a little work on it, and I don't want to really break anything, I'm just going to put this screw in, hold it together for now. I don't want to do it, but I might be doing it. I might be rewiring this thing. Alright. I definitely don't want to be rewiring this thing. But I do want to put a firebox flicker in it, and I'm determined to do so. So, the one thing with this is these are not wired correctly. So, let's fix that first. As you can see, I took absolutely no time to clean this workbench. Yeah. So basically, I went to the Amherst show. I had a really good time. Met some really nice people in the Fremo group. I really enjoyed it. I just don't have. I'm kind of burnt out on that Fremo build because I don't. We're going to be moving soon, and Fremo is not going to be kind of my thing in there where we move to. So I've kind of lost my zest for it. But sipping and switching's in that area, so depending on how far sipping and switching is from where I'm moving to, where they do their meets, maybe I'll build a couple of connection modules for it, and I'll be able to go over and do some sipping and switching. So, all right. So this is really. I'm just gonna pull this whole plug apart, and we'll be back. These are actually really nice, and I don't think the spectrums I think have a little bit more detail added to them. I mean, if I was gonna start from scratch and really go crazy with this and repaint it and all that stuff, no. I would come in here, get some of these mold lines on, taken out. I would tape off this box and shoot this box in the gunite in the graphite color. I don't think I could change. I mean, I probably could finagle with this and get in here and change out this LED, but none of this is really that important to me. The overall is the actual end of the project, what I want it for. So I'm going to have to replace the whistle on this because it's snapped off. Not a problem. But there's a cast metal shell boiler, so it's got some weight to it. It actually pulled really nice at the club. The guys were surprised. All right, we're gonna go a little extra here because I know I'm gonna wind up pulling these wires. Though I don't want to pull the wires, I'm gonna wind up desoldering a wire here and there and having to go back in and fix it. So we don't have to worry about these wheels flowing and flying around, but I can separate this right here, and this makes my life a little bit easier. All right, let me see what I got here. Let me untangle this. There we go. A little bit of untanglement. All right, so now everything's untangled. I should be able to. We're definitely gonna have to come back in here and revisit some of this wiring. Just not right this second, I don't think. As I say that, in the back of my mind, I'm going, yeah, I have every color wire I need. I just rip this all out and just rewire it. All right, I don't want to do that. I really don't. I really, really do not want to do that. I don't know what solder they use on some of these, but I always find it like really hard to remove it. All right, so now I see what's going on. Okay, so now that I got this a little cleaned up, a little more clean in here, and this is a flat bar across. The pin is in the middle. That's positive. That's these two are connected. These two are connected. This is fed in, connected to that one with the solder. That's pretty much it across the board. So these two right here are going to be my extras. And I'm going to have to connect one of these, or I'm going to solder both of these to this blue wire right here. And I'll have a firebox flicker on the bottom, and then another one in the firebox up top. That's the plan. That's what I'm going with. I'm hoping to go with. Alright, so I don't have a gray wire. I'm going to make that yellow. The next one is my purple. That's going to be one of my other lights. Then comes my blue. And then comes my spacer, which I'm going to put in as the green wire. Then the white. And the orange. Alright. So, let me just make sure we have no conductivity across any of these other boards. So I don't have to fix any more solder. All right. That's that. Alright, so we got this wired in. Alright, so now we have to put that into this. Now, these wires are a little stiff. These wires are a little stiff. This all might be for moot because I might be coming in here and ripping these out and rewiring it anyway. I'm not 100% sure yet. I really don't want to do that, but I might have to. Alright, so this is, I'll put this over here. So, let's just hope, I think, if I remember correctly, this is labeled on the other side. Oh, I hope so. Yeah, that makes life a lot easier. So basically, I have one place to hook a light up from, and it's the rear light. That's a bit of a shame. But there are tabs here. Soundtracks is a great company, so I'm going to take a picture of this and see if one of these tabs or something in here I can solder onto to add another light or a couple of spots for lights. I'm not too sure. Right rail, left rail, backup light positive, so I don't think I can set this light to make this I don't think I make that a firebox flicker. But I'll see. All right, let's clean this up. Oh, so all right, so this also has smoke box. That was wired in there too. I got motor positive, motor negative, power, smoke box. That means smoke, headlight power. I have no idea what is going on with this soldering iron today. It does not want to solder. This solder is like really hard. That's on here already. I mean, been using this tip for a while, so I mean, I'm not surprised if I need a new tip. So we got the purple and green to the smoke box, and I'm gonna figure out what to do inside the unit. If I can use the smoke box as whatever the function is, if I can change that over to a light function, whatever, we'll figure that out. What was that one thing? These wires are real stiff. So we may have to come back in here at a later date and just run more flexible wires through here. So that probably going to happen if I decide to redecoder this thing. Alright guys, so I know I stopped talking when I started getting deep into this. So this is wired up supposedly to this. We're going to put this on the test track, see if it runs, see if it makes sound. Alright, it should. Not worried about the light just yet, because I'm going to come in here, we're going to do the firebox. I just have to figure out that. So I believe I have a red LED. I know I have red LEDs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder in a red LED and figure that out. I'm also just going to solder. I got an LED. It's a waste over here. I glued it onto something. It came off. I'm going to get the glue back on. I'm going to glue it onto here. I think these might actually be already. Might already have a resistor in them. Not really sure. So we're going to figure that out. So I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to bring this up to the test track off camera and figure it out, and then come back, and then we'll go into the installation of the firebox light, which I've never done before, so it should be interesting. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys. So, well, you can see it's put back together again. It's put back together again because it appears that when the wires broke under here, they must have shorted out, because everything in here is wired correctly. If I take this and I put this on the track, the sound comes on, it runs fine. As soon as I plug it into here, it says it's a short. Nothing on this end over here is showing me a short circuit. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on with it, but it's showing a short. It's showing that I got power to the positive side of the headlight when I hook up to the red, and I got power to the negative side of the headlight when I hook up to the black. So I don't understand how that's working, but I cut those two wires off and tested it. Still showing a short. So I'm assuming that I cooked this when these wires broke under here. They must have shorted out. So, because the funny thing is that the wires that shorted out were actually the wires that broke originally were actually the wires for the headlight, one headlight wire and one motor wire. So I'm thinking that might be it. I have a decoder tester. I'm going to wire this back up and put it in the decoder tester and check it out on that. But I think I smoked this decoder. I have just a base 21 pin, and I'm going to try to find a Nick's Trains decoder buddy around here and wire it in. And I'm either gonna leave the Nick's Trains in there, or I'm gonna get a replacement, one of these Economies, and put an Economy in it. I'm not really sure yet. I just want to make sure that this engine's good. But that's not the end of this project, because we have a ton more stuff to do. Well, we also have all the cars. Now, I purchased interiors for these cars. I have 5 cars. I think I have one. Take these out. I have one car. This one right here doesn't have an interior yet. But the best part of that is that the interior kit that I can get for that one is actually a sleeper. This one's got interiors too. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to go through and we're going to, can't just throw that in there like that. That's fun as that. So we're gonna put strip of lights up top. Possibly offset. Not 100% sure yet, because we're gonna figure this out, because we have the vents up top. So they kind of hung down a little bit. So we might figure out a way of doing that, get them off the ceiling a bit so it doesn't light up. I believe there's green. How many other ones? I had a set of, okay. The other set that I had the green, excuse me, had the green glass that went on the top. So we're gonna glaze these up, and we're gonna go from there, and we're gonna build them. So let's get started. We're gonna start with an easy one. All right. I mean, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna paint it. We're gonna paint everything in here, even though you ain't gonna see it. You ain't seeing nothing in this thing from many angles, but it's the thought that counts. You'll know what's in there. I'll know what's in there. And then whoever watches is gonna know what's in there. And then whoever I tell is gonna know what's in there. All right, so let's get these ready to go. So we got that's the railroad. That's the mail car, railroad express car, mail car. Let's start with the combine. I love combines. I don't know why. I just do. Overland coach. That's gonna be you.